situation, but
because they had a Roadhog and a Reinhardt alive.
They were functioning with 2 members down, but they saw that the back line of the team separated because of the positioning that the EMP Drag Strike came in. And so these 2 teams need to make sure that they clean everything up, mop it up, don't leave a speck. Remember, leave it better than how you saw it, right? And so NRG Esports are going to be starting off on the attack this time around. We're going to be seeing the GOATS composition coming from both sides, and something that Speedily has improved on is dying early. We haven't really seen that since Oasis. We didn't see it on the last snap, and look at this. XL2 Academy were able to take that, and so NRG Esports on the attack are just trying to figure out a way to come in here without giving up too much ult charge to XL2 Academy, because as they walk in, XL2 will just have an inherent advantage in that ultimate charge.
Yeah, Kevster already ahead on that grab charge, but probably not going to be for too much longer here as Stand 1 swaps onto the Reinhardt so that Akawa doesn't get any shatters for free. NRG now brawling in earnest with XL2. It's, a lot of times we see the teams kind of respect the mating dance a little bit more, wait for that perfect moment to exploit a mispositioning, but NRG is like, nah, we're just going to burn Akawa down.
Akawa's super close to Earth Shatter. Look how far away Stand 1 is. So Akawa getting a little bit more mileage out of that hammer. So XL2 Academy going to go ahead and use that Earth Shatter. 4 members are on the ground. XL2 will own this defense for the time being. NRG is going to have to try again. But the Earth Shatter tells NRG they've got to be getting close to some of those other ultimates as well.
Exactly, but will that knowledge really benefit them? Can you do anything about it?
From under the water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But NRG, they will have that trance for, the potential grab thrown out by Yaki, but XL2 also similarly stocked with Enlightenment. I really like this look from XL2. You have an advantage, just go ahead and use it. NRG weren't able to burn Akawa down faster than he could get that shatter by exposing himself to danger, of course. So, it's that trade-off, the line that XL2 has been able to walk so far with success.
And so NRG Esports is going to be trying the same approach. This is something that they tend to do, go the same way until it works. We're going to try to knock XL2 off the high ground. Akawa is going to be in a precarious position, leaving some XL2 exposed, but NRG unable to get any damage through in that little window of opportunities. Akawa is just owning the area with this health pack, and so Graviton is now going to be coming through her. We're going to have that bigger base. It's got to be scary for NRG. Sound barrier just in case, I think that time around, saving everybody. Earth Shatter now coming through. Smek's going to get that triple kill with that self-destruct. Big things coming from NRG Esports. That's the energy that they really need, the tempo that they need. It's been a while since we felt this from this team this series. It's been since Oasis.
Yeah, I mean, NRG, that was the mojo that they had on Control that XL2 Academy took from them on Eichenwald. Both of these teams relying very heavily on the grab bomb Reinhardt charge combo, and both Reinhardts and the Zaryas and Divas able to execute, as we saw right there. Jared didn't really have a chance to decide whether or not he wanted to invest the sound barrier like NRG did, but while NRG took that point A pretty easily, that depleted ultimate economy now means they're going to have a hard time snowballing on B.
Nice sound barrier from XL2 Academy. A lot of times I wasn't countering anything. What was that? Tempo sound barriers don't always work out, right? So that one is just, hey, you don't have support ultimates. We know that. We're just going to give my team tons of extra breathing room with just a single sound barrier that's going to be back in no time.
Exactly. That's the hope for XL2 Academy, or even if it's not, Yaki and Speedily can hopefully continue to hold down the fort as NRG again make their engagement here. Byram, though, very close to Transcendence, and he's not only been fragging very well for NRG, but his trans timing has not really missed a beat so far.
Remember, XL2 is playing for a playoff spot, so they have all of that energy and moxie behind them, trying to go after
a lot of pressure,
this.
though.
But don't, just like you said, don't let that distract you from playing cleanly. Like you are right now, as XL2 Academy have that Graviton surge. As well, Armor Pack has already been utilized for XL2, so NRG is going to fall victim to that Graviton surge. No kills just yet. We're going to keep seeing everyone jostling around on the objective right now. Transcendence coming from the top who will follow. Earth Shatter is next. Transcendence is going to go down here in just a second, but Akawa's placement of that shield is beautiful, keeping everyone behind him so safe. And now with the Earth Shatter self-destruct combo at their disposal, NRG Esports are going to have to wait a while before they actually could even really consider coming on to the objective.
That was actually fairly risky for Haku right there, because Kevster now will have thank you. Now will have that shatter, but not if he's shattered. Akawa though himself gets CC'd out of it, but doesn't matter. Byram's still out of the fight.
And so now this is going to be a brawl on the objective as there's trades coming both sides. Stand One actually going to keep NRG Esports ahead. Without Byron, though, they're not going to have that Harmony Orb or Discord Orb, more importantly, but they might have a Transcendence coming soon as Stand One almost knocks himself off of the environment. XL2 Academy don't have any ultimates outside of the sound barrier, and a Transcendence strictly coming online. The sound barrier is absolutely necessary. Akawa does not get it as he starts in his spawn. NRG Esports doing a little bit of a soft reset right now. XL2 using all of those ultimates. NRG knew that they needed to cede that space, but actually I'm happy that they didn't because they were able to grab the grab away from Yaki.
Exactly. So now it's not going to be as dangerous of a fight for NRG their next round. Oh man, Akawa, again, I love this proactive defense from the Reinhardt. Kevster would have had a free grab. Jur and Haku were nowhere close to the barrier or that Transcendence, but Akawa kind of forces NRG's hands with that shatter, even if it wasn't the shatter of a lifetime. Now NRG is discombobulated, and XL2 now have the chance to re-engage and hopefully hold once more with Speedy's rally and Haku's trance.
Stand One has her shatter here, going to be using the rally to get NRG Esports on to the objective. Haku's going to go ahead and use that Transcendence. Kevster, though, getting that early kill is going to be really good news for NRG Esports, and now it's time to get the rest. And now, Ayaki going to get taken very low speedily as well. Kirby going to get bursted down, able to get that self-destruct out. Everyone is behind the shield, however, Stand One keeping the rest of his team safe. NRG Esports do find themselves an opportunity to potentially grab everything that they need here. It's now time for XL2 to stall, which won't last very long. Haku is not going to last very long, just like that. XL2 Academy do give up 2 points. Some good defense there coming from them, but NRG Esports knew the 2 fights that they had to win, and they won in those 2 fights.
Exactly.
So they were, it's such like a disadvantage for ultimates for so long, from like minute 4.5 to like minute 2:45, right? There was like no chance for NRG to break through, and it looks like they knew that.
Yeah, I think so. You know, every now and then you come into those situations, especially with the Mirror Goats comp, where it's just the chess game of ultimates, right? Numbers is not going to be a guarantee of victory, but it certainly gives you some options. So NRG kind of going at it, you know, like you said, it may be a little bit stubborn at times, but eventually did find that advantage just in pure ultimate economy. Doesn't help, of course, though, that, you know, Akawa was being focused down so heavily that he required Haku's trance, which came a little bit late that time. And so you've now invested an ultimate unprompted, essentially, right? There was no grab that made you, that forced the trance or anything. You're simply trying to save a low teammate. And especially in those cases where that doesn't happen, even if Akawa had stayed alive. Kevster had a free grab then. Byram had his own trance to keep NRG alive, even if Yaki had gotten his trance, some kind of miracle or a grab, some kind of miracle grab in that time. So XL2 Academy kind of falling victim to this, you know, the defensive goats, right? Eventually you just won't have any more tools left, depending on how heavily you invest.
And so, like, and that's the challenge, right? You have to make sure that when you're using an ultimate, it's that value that's coming out of it, right? If you're using too much, you're eventually, no matter what, going to be at a disadvantage.
Exactly. Like, in that occasion, saving Akawa's Rhine would be worth getting the whole team grabbed, right? Unfortunately, it didn't work out for XL2, but they got their own shot at the apple here. Not running anything surprising. Reinhardt goes. NRG, though, I like this, going with the Winston defense. So again, a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Stand One to play proactively, get some early cleave, as we see right here.
Smek's going to get D-Neck immediately, and they tried to get some heals onto Smex, but was not in a position to save them. And looking at where everyone else was, it seems to be Smex's fault. Potentially giving XL2 Academy this first point for free, as this is a 6v5 for another like 15 seconds. Stand One does get a kill onto the Zenyatta in at the backline, so Haku can have to wait a little bit longer to join his team, but because of that original pick onto Smex, XL2 Academy are going to have a much easier time grabbing point A than NRG did.
You certainly can't matrix a hammer or a Tesla cannon, but it always helps to have, you know, just another body here and the potential to gobble up any of those orbs or nades. Smax, I wonder what he was trying to accomplish there. Maybe just get up close to a little bit more of that ultimate charge, but as it stands now, NRG have to hold for almost 7 minutes, and no ultimates sans Stand One's angry monkey impression.
Well, that's a good one to have, because looking at the other side, there aren't any ultimates either, so NRG Esports actually winning in terms of ultimate economy right now. I'm really interested to see where Stand 1 is actually going to use it. They're going to go ahead and use it as an engage, not even let them come to the point. But the unfortunate thing for Energy is because he has so much extra HP, you're actually giving XL2 Academy an opportunity to get to those ultimates, which you actually see right there. So you're serving up your body, giving them those check marks, hoping that your team is going to be able to do the exact same thing, and right now they're not. As Byram only the only other one with ultimate right now. That pick on to Speedily, though, is going to be enormous for NRG Esports in this precarious situation. Oh, but Kirby's going to go ahead and eat the grab from Kester, so they're not going to have the few tools that they had at their disposal. That's one of them that's taken away, as NRG Esports are not going to have that grab, but they are going to find those picks. So at this point, Kessler could have just held on to it, as it wasn't going to find any value anyways. It was eventually NRG Esports find themselves a defense somehow after XL2 Academy get the jump on them in terms of ultimates.
Yeah, a second late transfer. Haku just kind of, unlucky the way the cards fell right there, because we had Speedily actually on the Doomfist to try and get back into that fight, while he was still relevant. And unfortunately, that means he's going to be giving up all of his rally charge, and XL2 Academy still have to start again from square one, as it were.
Nice. XL2 Academy now have that 5 minutes and 15 seconds, so they've got plenty of time to work with. It's not time to panic just yet. Get to those ults, grab them away from Energy, who you know are at an advantage right now. But if Energy's playing smart, they're not going to invest anything until they have to.
Oh,
Yaki, though, getting that kill onto Stand 1 with Primal Rage at the ready. This is one of those moments where you have to. Smek's going to go ahead and use that self-destruct. Not going to find any real estate from it there. Stand 1 is going to come back eventually. The sound barrier now is pretty much just delaying it, so Stand 1 can come back with that Primal Rage. Pooks, that sound barrier was absolute necessity in his mind for NRG Esports, but nothing's really happening from either side. Is Stand 1 going to die again with Primal Rage?
Oh, that is not what you want your monkey scientist to be seen doing. And now the grab here for free. Haku too late with that Zumiata, but NRG now, they're trying desperately to find some value with their own Transcendence. Stand 1 will be able to rejoin with this monkey in just a second. Finally managed to get that Primal Rage.
And maybe all those times he died was just saving it for this opportunity, but no, he's only got 106 health left. Self-destruct not going to be finding anything, and Akawa going to get that kill on to Byram is not going to be helping NRG Esports' chances, as Stand 1 needed to find a health pack and then jump back in so late. Primal Rage did absolutely nothing in that situation. Akawa definitely getting the better of that maintained battle over the last 2 maps, as NRG Esports struggling with this defense. At least they were able to take a couple minutes off the clock, but Energy, I feel like we're holding on by the skin of their teeth, right? Think Mufasa, like on the edge in Lion King, right? And XL2 was just Scar, just lifting up that paw and letting him fall.
So sad. Top 10 anime battles. Never forget. But NRG, you're absolutely right. Even when they had the resources, they just couldn't quite, get them out of the gate, right? Stand 1 dying twice with Primal still in hand. Like, anytime a Winston jumps deep into the enemy line, right, you have to be thinking, okay, what's step 2? Right? I'm here now, but I can only jump back out in like 3-4 seconds best if I don't get CC'd, if I don't get burst, right? And NRG, hopefully, just staying strong in their mental, right? Because those are the kind of mistakes that, caused some of those 3 losses in a row that we saw plague them in the last couple of weeks. And that was not the team that took Eichenwald with such determination, right? Those small kind of mistakes that have really been hampering him started with Smex getting caught out in the XL2 backline for whatever reason, and going down early, which lost them point A.
That's true. So poor decision making coming from NRG Esports. No way to sugarcoat that, but it's just, you got to be cleaner in your head, not just your cons, right? Because if you're thinking about other things, you're trying to be a hero, you might find yourself in the same position Smex did. And remember, he's got a good right heart. Smex does.
He does.
I just wanted everyone to remember that, because it's honestly really, really good. And so XL2 Academy now on the defensive side. Only 1 minute and 40 seconds for NRG Esports. That's 2 fights, maybe, depending on how slow this flank goes, if they just kind of go onto the objective. The problem here is if they do that, they have to win, or else they're going to come in with a massive ultimate disadvantage on their next push. So NRG Esports definitely need to do this the right way. They're thinking about it. There's 1 minute and 23 seconds left, and Stand 1 going to go ahead and go through. Oh, but he's going to get booped away. And good armor pack going onto Haku, who is taken pretty low. And now NRG Esports going to get taken low themselves. Stand One trying his best to get to that Earthshatter as fast as possible. But Kawa somehow is matching him and actually beating him at not anymore. Stand One get a bit closer to that 50% charge. Mirror might be the first to get to an ultimate out of all 12 of these characters. But with 59 seconds left, XL2 Academy are going to be ceding a little bit of space, getting a little bit better in terms of what they believe they have. But the time is not on their side. And it's actually for XL2 as NRG Esports find themselves at an ultimate advantage and a positional advantage on the objective right now. And now that Byron's going to get those 2 kills, it is a 6v4 for NRG Esports, and they have what they need to potentially grab the second point.
Good stuff from NRG, winning the positional battle, absolutely. And when you have that positioning, that comfortable, place where you can swing your hammer, that's where you find Stand One, 90% to that shatter. And XL2 Academy now definitely on their back heels, pop the rally immediately from Speedy. Haku's going to try his best not to have that Transcendence forced unprompted, but easier said than done with Akawa now at half health, shield broken.
NRG Esports, this is their only opportunity here. The Earthshatter is going to go through, and 4 members are going to go down. Now they are now from NRG Esports. They have that 6v4. Will NRG Esports be able to complete the whole map, potentially, with time remaining? But Kirby with that self-destruct making things a little bit interesting for XL2 Academy. Now we got to think about those spawns. Will they be able to come in and contest in a time? It looks like they will just for a short second. NRG Esports doing everything right so far. They've cleaned it up, but now the Lucio is the last bastion for XL2 Academy. They do end up grabbing him. NRG Esports now have all 6 members back on the objective, where XL2 are staggering on, and there's not going to be a world where they don't stop staggering. And now NRG Esports do finish, I believe, with some time remaining. That might be important depending on how XL2 finish this next round.
Very likely. We'll take a look, and
overtime did start. So we got that 0.0, so XL2 Academy want to finish this with some time in the bank, and they've got time in the bank to do just that.
Yeah, nearly the same starting time as the game gives you at the very beginning. 3 minutes and 50 seconds here for XL2. As quickly as NRG, kind of claimed that whole map once again, XL2 have been playing a very methodical game. They just fell victim to the snowball in that case. NRG had every advantage in the book, and their ability to capture so much space on point A and force XL2 onto their back feet, right? That means so many things besides just, hey, we got, 26% of the point, guys, right? So that means that Akawa taken low, forced back into the mega pack room, so his shield's not going to be healthy, he's not going to be healthy. It's going to take time for Jaru and Haku to get the tanks back up into fighting shape, and that whole time, NRG still pressuring them, peppering in that little bit of damage that gave them those ultimates that they eventually took point B with.
Exactly, and so now that they're going to be coming in on this attack, NRG Esports wants to take as much time away on point A as possible. As like you said, there's only about 10 seconds left below what they originally would have gone on their initial push. So NRG Esports on this GOATS composition, riding high from their last push. I'm sure the momentum is definitely on their side. Let's see if XL2 Academy are going to be able to take it right back as they have in the last couple maps.
Oh, some cleave going into XL2 as they make their way into the mini pack room where Smex is not. That is a lot of damage. Stand One already 45% up to that primal.
But now, because that damage goes on to Stand One, it means that his supports get closer to their ultimates, and Byron's going to get to his Transcendence, it looks like, before Haku will, and that's going to be big for a defense in that situation. Is everyone going to be transferring over onto the high ground? XL2 Academy do take a little bit of that space, but NRG smartly going to go ahead and flank from behind. Look at where Stand One is. They're going to try to pick Haku out, and there's been no isolation so far, as all 5 members of XL2 have made themselves that death ball. So 6 members of XL2 all still alive right now. The Stand One Primal Rage is going to be coming out to try to get the isolation going, and Haku is going to be going down. Some more Omnic on Omnic action there coming from Byram. NRG Esports also have the ultimates to stay alive here, but the unfortunate thing for them is XL2 have so much time on the clock, they got to do it a couple more times.
Exactly. One good defense does not a one map make, but NRG still, though, really good coordination and teamwork. Stand One and Smex essentially essentially working as, Great Pyrenees, which we are both very familiar with, hurting, Haku, who was taking so much pressure from NRG, hurting Haku towards the point. Who was there to meet Haku but your friendly neighborhood enemy, Brigitte, in Mirror? So somebody was going to take this Zenyatta down sooner rather than later. It's up to XL2 Academy now to keep him safe and not only do that, but find those kills against NRG.
And so, looks like they're thinking about which direction they do want to flank off of. The armor pack has been invested to stand one. I say that because it's one of the most important cooldowns that Brig has. Again, the only burst healing that we see out of these comps. And so XL2 have the 5 ultimates. NRG Esports will have 4. Stand1's playing really well, so might have the prime rage in time, but the Graviton Surge is through. Akawa going to go ahead and use the Earth Shatter to try to counter that. Doesn't get a ton of value out of any of it. Now, NRG Esports are going to have to use that self-destruct to try to clear the point. Sound Barrier is going to counter it in respect to that. Now self-destruct coming from XL2 will find the Lucio, and so XL2 definitely have an opportunity to grab this first point, and NRG Esports invested so much into it, but so did XL2. The snowball potential into the second point's not really that high.
No, and Mirror goes down before he can use the rally, so there at least be that little bit of cushion for NRG to try and hold here. Oh man, but look at that speed. Really excellent staggers because you kill the Lucio so late, that means that NRG aren't going to have the speed boost to get out of spawn to contest this. Oh no, and then you pick off Byram. This is horrible.
This is bad news bears for NRG. They're gonna have to do this with 5 members, but will they be able to? It doesn't look like they will. Jared gonna get that kill onto stand 1, and so NRG Esports started that stagger all the way back on point A. They could not get everyone back, and that late pick onto Byram pretty much has sealed the deal. But NRG Esports now trying as hard as they can to stall, take as much time away from the clock, stall it out, and we're not gonna see that happen as XL2 are going to be able to grab this point. XL2 Academy will be getting another attack to try to win this map, but poor energy there. Sometimes you just find yourself in that situation.
Exactly.
Right? Like the short spawns. No short spawns there, but it's kind of like it's short spawns-esque.
Right, you're Zenyatta trundle floating your way towards the point, like, I got you guys, and then surprise, suddenly Brigitte salad, right? And then you're just tossed into oblivion. Really unlucky. Those stagger kills absolutely did NRG in right there.
1 second separated XL2 from being the only team to push this round. And so, because they ended with 59 seconds, a second below that minute mark, NRG is able to push one more time. When we say every second matters in Overwatch, this is exactly what we mean.
Exactly. Otherwise, NRG, the best they could hope for is a draw, the defense of a lifetime, right? So, 1 second, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so NRG Esports on their attack going to be running with the tried and true stand 1 on the Winston. I actually think his Winston's been a bit stronger than his Reinhardt
I would
today.
Agree. I mean, there was a reason why back in the day Smex was playing Reinhardt and stand 1 was on Winston when they tried double main tank. So
Smex has got a really good Reinhardt.
You know who else has a really great Rein? Frill.
Yeah. Oh, Frillian. And so now that NRG Esports, they have the opportunity. They've run it a couple times. Every time Smex has been on Reinhardt and they've done the double main tank thing, it's actually done pretty well. We're probably not going to see it on this map, maybe on the next one, but NRG Esports now have 1 minute. They only needed 30 seconds more to complete the 2 points last time, so let's see if they're going to be able to do the same thing. They had, a little bit of extra time to kind of figure out what to do, and it's just going to be the same as always, as Haku going to get that pick and get him closer to that Transcendence, but it happened so early. Actually, they're trapping them into this room right now, so XL2 Academy doing the very smart thing on trapping them in this room and making sure that NRG Esports isn't able to reset or escape. Really good move from them. That is a death room if I've ever seen one.
Oh my god, Akawa shattered them too. Stop it, they're already dead. But this is really bad news for NRG. Byram only 22% to that trans, so not only did he not throw in that Discord orb, he wasn't doing the damage, he won't have trans now. So stand 1 has to swap onto a Desperation Wrecking Ball just to start overtime, but he might well get stunned, deleted before the rest of his team shows up.
No. Overtime does get started, so it was in that window of opportunity where he touches the point, even though it wasn't quite overtime just yet. Smex getting taken pretty low. NRG Esports know that they're in a losing battle right now. They need some type of miracle. They need some type of play make from anyone on their team right now. And looking at it, it's got to be from Byram getting a pick onto somebody. They're still in this for the time being, but XL2 Academy 100% in control on this fight, and really good heads-up play, trapping them in that room, not letting them escape with their lives. So NRG Esports unable to get that tick, but XL2 Academy have 59 seconds longer than them to grab 1 tick here on point A and go up 2-1 and potentially get to match point, secure their spots in the playoffs.
Exactly. It's that playoff goal. It's hovering over XL2's head right now. I mean, whenever you do a slightly, well, not unorthodox per se, but not by the book kind of play, like, hey, I bet we could trap him in here and we could totally just destroy him, guys, right? You just have to do that risk assessment, right? And knowing that the Zenyatta is out of the fight means the world for XL2 in that moment. There's so little chance, like, what are they going to do? You know, throw some orbs at us? Nah, I don't think so. And so XL2 Academy, a really smart move right there. It's one thing to just, you know, play your own game the best. It's another thing to make opportunities like they did. Really unlucky of all the times that Byram gets killed by Haku and not the other way around. It happened for XL2 in that moment. What a clutch play.
Well, and I think another thing that can't be understated either is that they all went, right? Like, they went into the room and all 100% went into it.
Yep.
We've seen at times, actually from NRG on Eichenwald, like 50% this way, and then no, but this one might be better, and that's just that confusion causes you to lose a fight. And so XL2 Academy, no confusion at all. They were going to go into that room regardless if they were going to win that fight or not, but I'm so happy they went in together.
Exactly. Akawa, not too confused with what hero he's playing. Just taking a gander, a peek. You never know if you might get a cheeky sleep, but it's back to the Reinhardt for this main tank. Oh man, Shatters in Tiny Rooms is just stuff Rhines live on. Feels so good. But NRG again running with their Winston Diva defense means early cleave for stand 1 and then repositioning, trying to make sure that he always has an escape route. Oh, and he really needed it right then.
Definitely needed it and wanted a little bit more charge. We've actually seen Winston's get close to 40-50% just based off of those 2 rooms. You see them enter on the left and you see the divot right before they go up the stairs. That's where the Winston's really going to start getting that primal rage charge, which they did not give to stand 1, as we're going to see the engagement proper coming in now from XL2 Academy, who have made themselves available on the objective. Remember, they cannot give a tick, so someone from NRG needs to be on at the point to prevent that from happening, and Byram is going to go ahead and get his counterpart Haku, and it's going to be good news for NRG, who have been able to stop one push, but Mirror going down, though. The defensive spawns are not very friendly. XL2 are going to suffer another victim. Byram fragging out, being the hero that NRG Esports needs right now.
I love this peel, though. You see Smacks fly into the backline. There are still people on the point. It doesn't matter. 10% on this point for a potential 1 defense if we just all in and burn those last couple of members of XL2 down. Really good decision making by the tanks of NRG. Byram getting a bit of a revenge kill onto Haku right there. And this is really good news for NRG. They now have the ultimates to continue to hold this as long as they play disciplined and by the book. XL2 Academy, it's pressure on their shoulders to make some kind of engage, because NRG are happy to just sit here and be like, yeah, okay.
100%. NRG Esports also should not lose this fight with 6 limits. Let's see what XL2 are going to be able to do. They're going to go ahead and rip it early, so Graviton Surge very, very early on. Stand 1 going to get a lot of tickle damage. The sound barrier is going to protect them all from dying. Now the Primal Rage will be engaged. Smek's getting that double kill, but there is a return kill on the other side. XL2 Academy not quite out of this yet, but it is looking dire for them. NRG Esports unable to get any more of that cleanup kills for now, but XL2 keeping themselves alive. No one from NRG has gone back to spawn. Kirby getting taken, though. Good ally berry to make sure that he gets closer and closer to that ultimate, and NRG Esports are potentially letting XL2 come back with all 6 members. The D-Mech, though, can prove to be the death knell for XL2 Academy, who have stalled very, very well. So everyone is back, even with those times. Another Graviton Surge now from NRG Esports. That is 2 in this fight coming from Kevster, who has actually been struggling a little bit getting those ultimate charges, and this is the exact thing that he needs. And after all of that work, we have a draw. So this is going to be decided on map 4 between these 2 teams, with XL2 Academy looking to solidify their place in playoffs.
Oh man, an early grav forced the barrier. You know they don't have trance, right? Then you pop Primal Rage. You weren't expecting to get graved, right? But hey, whatever, you're probably going to live. We've seen, and then Smex tossing that self-destruct, just capitalizing off of, you know, what's a bad hand, right? You don't want your Winston to be grabbed. You want him to be primaling people, but you know he's going to have that knockback. You throw that mech. How many times have we seen Divas try and throw self-destruct in counter to grab? At least maybe they won't be able to put in some damage. It has not worked out like that, though, in most of those cases. 9 times out of 10, it was just a special set of circumstances that all of the members of NRG kind of recognized. They're like, we can do it, guys. Boom, you get the 2K. Smex comes back in with the Sombra Sombra and, you know, and unfortunately XL2, they didn't really have, again, those resources, those ultimates to toss into those fights.
And so very, very well said, Hammond. I think the best thing that NRG did that whole time was not freak out. We've definitely seen them buckle under pressure just last week, right? I'm going to bring up that Symmetra comp that totally worked on Point A Junkertown, right? But
they just stretched it a little too long.
Yeah, if they were the defense on Point B, that would have been awesome, but they weren't. And so, like, they stuck on it because they had the ultimates, right? We see that a lot. Just, oh, I've got the Rocket Barrage. We did just grab Point A. Pharaoh's not very good on Streets phase pretty much anywhere, right? But I still have Rocket Barrage, so I'm going to do it, right? And that forces everyone else to accommodate your ultimate. And when you don't have that ultimate find value, then everyone's just wasted their time. And so we didn't see any of that coming from NRG that go around. This is definitely a little bit better than what they did on Eichenwald. Hybrid, again, not a very good map type for NRG, but Control, not a very good map type for
either team.
Yeah, for either team, really, really. And so now that these two teams are going together, XL2 and NRG have found themselves tied going into our fourth map, Rialto, the land of right angles. This map geometry is so important in terms of how defenses and offensive just work on this map.
I was going to say frustrating. Can be extremely frustrating because you feel like you have to win like 2.5 fights just to get that cart to turn around the corner. Then you turn the corner into courtyard, and there are no surprises there. Everybody knows exactly where you're coming from, right?
Well, in our last series, we saw Envy do it. Hold up really close, lose a fight. Hold up right before the first turn, you lose. You're still going to come back in time for that third engagement. So this is why we say this map is defensively favored. You really want to try to get through that first point in 2 fights because the defensive spawns are not super far away from that first objective.
Yeah, and you want to do it with, you know, maybe an ultimate invested, but not too many ultimates, right? And that's the thing with Rialto, because the momentum is so defensively favored, you always in the back of your head have to be thinking about, okay, we won this fight, but we blew 4 ults, right? What's like step 2, right? You always have to have that backup plan because once the momentum is stopped, it's so difficult to find yourself, get yourself back in position where, you know, you can really get that going again.
And so I believe Rialto's hardest point is the first one. If you're able to get through this first one, even though the stairwell, you're actually seeing it right here, super hard on offense as well here on the second point. I think just grabbing point A just seems like such an obstacle for people. And so once
there was a time when the finish rate, the map finish rate on Rialto was like 40 to 46%. Less than half of the times that you played Rialto, you could actually see the cathedral, see point C. So, you know, we're not all Vancouver Titans. Right.
Exactly. That's insane. That'll stay up there for a very long time, I think.
Oh, it's just so soul-crushing. It's okay, guys. We finished the map. We got time. Boom. Set a new record. 4 minutes, 26 seconds. Okay.
That's what you call being the alpha.
Exactly.
Right? That is what you call, like, asserting your dominance, right?
Thumping your chest.
Speaking of alphas, dogs and cats and other animals tend to be alphas as well.
Yeah.
So in your world of dogs and cats, what's your favorite breed? If you could have one as a pet, what would it be?
That's so difficult, Boop. I'm actually really partial to rats. Any other rodent friends
out there? All right, let's move on. And so let's go ahead and go on to the game, NRG Esports. That was not going to go anywhere. XL2 Academy.
You asked me, dude. What am I going to do, lie to the folks?
I know. Rats. NRG Esports now coming in on the attacking side. XL2 Academy looking to actually give up a lot of space. I'm not sure I agree with this decision based on how the rest of the game has gone, but we've actually in the last 2 games have gotten some really good defensive coming from these teams, but I just like when they hold up close because why not? Smex is going to get that pick as well, and because they didn't hold up close, they've given up all that space, right? They're going to be able to saunter on the courtyard and potentially get into one fight territory to cap the point.
Yeah, XL2 will have one more shot, but just the one. NRG almost went and did like a big bamboozle. They went into the room, then they looped all the way back around, and you could tell, you know, from Haku's point of view that XL2 weren't really sure where NRG was going to engage from, and so that kind of explains why they ended up becoming so split and speedily falling so early. But again, those are just the kinds of mistakes that you can't make against a team like NRG when your playoff hopes are on the line.
Exactly. NRG Esports now so close, 3 meters away from that first point. We've talked about this being that big obstacle for these teams. We tend to see it after they get this, they get some more momentum. They're going to be going through onto XL2 Academy, and 3 members are on the ground. Kevster going to be using that Graviton Surge as well. Transcendence did not last long enough, and now everyone is dead. On XL2 Academy, NRG Esports will be grabbing this first point with almost 5 minutes to spare. And just one thing, if you are a rat person, make sure you buy 2.
Yeah, no, they need a friend. Just like dogs. But XL2 Academy, I mean, again, playing with a disadvantaged hand. Haku's Trans was the only defensive ult they had. NRG, though, recognized it, were able to exploit that by grabbing afterwards, and now, now Trans is going to be forced out from Byram, but they still hold this high ground somehow.
And so the Trans was forced out. XL2 could have reacted with a Graviton Surge immediately after that, but NRG Esports smartly just ceding that space back to the payload, getting this free space that teams tend to get as it rounds the corner here. And so now the high ground and the staging of the defense is very important. Self-destruct is out. Kirby going to get a Bunny Blaster kill before getting back into the mech. That's also some alpha play that's coming from Kirby. We just need to see a little bit more of that in the next 4 minutes.
Exactly. When XL2 Academy can execute their combos, they look so crisp, so clean, right? But when those combos aren't easy coming, they look a little bit discombobulated. Now, though, NRG know that those 2 ultimates are no longer online, and they are rip-roaring into their own. Kevster just 25% away. So again, a battle for the high ground taking place here. Kawa gets stunned up. Koi.
Smek's going to be going ahead and using that self-destruct inside a room, but everyone does survive. Akawa is using that tactical reposition to get back into the graces of his supports and the rest of his team. NRG Esports now with some ultimates. Earthshatter going down. Akawa going to be going down with it. Haku and Speedily also getting taken down. Haku does survive that initial stun. Do not use your trance. Thank you very much. NRG Esports are going to find themselves past the stairwell, and so XL2 Academy not really popping up any defenses where we normally see them here on reality.
I like the way that NRG are pressuring Akawa to the point where he has to tactically reposition and, you know, save his shield. He might not even have it. That means free shatter for Stand 1, who took that opportunity and ran with it. But now this is XL2's best chance to hold.
Oh no, Byron very late with that trans, and then the throughput damage on to Kevster was enough onto NRG Esports, and so now XL2 Academy get graced with a defensive win past the stairs, so now they get to stage up there on the stairwell once again, and NRG Esports has to do that whole, like you say, rigmarole one more time.
I think, you know, actually I find it really funny when teams just all decide to jump off of the map. It's like, you can't fire us, we quit. But NRG now will have to reclaim this high ground again, so defensively favored for XL2 as long as they can hold on to it. But it looks like they might be going for some kind of like, no, not possible. Just checking just in case. I really like it also when Lucios make use of these walls. So good for mispositioning Rhines.
And the boots are very important here, because if they were able to boot anyone from NRG off, which they are, it's going to make them much weaker, and everyone's going to have to follow. You saw Byram get booped off, and now at XL2 Academy going to find themselves in an advantage here on this fight, and NRG Esports going to have to try this again. XL2, thank goodness they won that last defense, because they gave away this positioning not too long ago.
It's so much easier to shoot down than to shoot upwards. Jared really making good usage of that. As you know, anybody who has ever taken a loogie to the face by an older brother knows. So NRG again gonna have to try, and will they try for this high ground again? I mean, if they can get it, it's gonna be so advantageous, but they've taken 2 pretty heavy losses, which has cut them down to just 1:18 at this point.
And so they're going to be pushing the payload, forcing them to drop off the stairwell, which is going to give an opportunity for Stand 1 to potentially get a nice shatter through. They're holding on to it for the time being, maybe waiting for the grab to go through first. Smex is also waiting for that self-destruct, so I'd say her shatter first. Rally's going to go through. Stand 1 is not going to use his shatter, but XL2 is going to use theirs. Byron's going to have to use the Transcendence after the grab, so that's actually really good news for NRG Esports. Stand 1 finally using that shatter self-destruct now is going to find Akawa on XL2 Academy. Have NRG Esports done enough? They cannot die from this Kirby self-destruct, and they do not, as we are going to be escaping. But look at where everyone is. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. Stand 1 and Smex saving each other there, as Smex was isolated, potentially demech, but did not happen. Let's see if XL2 Academy are going to be able to come back and contest on this point that is a little less than 2 meters away.
Yeah, at this point, the spawns are fairly equidistant, so every kill counts even more. Stand 1 now goes down. NRG must back up as quickly as possible. Wait for their Reinhardt to come back in here. Smex as well as XL2 Academy might well be looking at a hold here right before point B.
I wonder why Smegs decided to kill himself that way, as Standard 1 was coming back. So that's like 6 seconds that they did not really have to work with.
Oh, he wanted Hammond.
Oh, he wanted Hammond, and so NRG Esports are going to go ahead and use that Wrecking Ball to try to get back on the point. Yaki going to get that first kill, though. It's a 6v5 for XL2. No one is on the point. NRG Esports unable to grab that second point. That's not the worst of situations. Really great windmill ragdoll there. That was awesome. But now XL2, they know what they need to do. There's no way this goes to a Game 5, folks. So XL2 either puts their playoff hopes on the line next week against Second Generation, or they seal the deal here against NRG Esports by doing what they couldn't do and grabbing that second point.
XL2, though, did take Eichenwald. So, you know, if they're just a fan of long streets, you know, linear roads, they might be able to find that mojo again.
You call them Rome, right? All roads lead to
All
Rome.
roads lead to Rialto. But XL2, they strived, you know, they really thrived on that bomb combo, that grab bomb combo. And when it wasn't coming through, they were a little bit more discombobulated. But NRG themselves maybe slightly petering out in terms of that energy, that stamina and endurance, because those were some pretty messy fights towards the end of point B. So XL2 Academy, it is their time now to shine. They could put an end to all of this with a very fast Rialto take.
Exactly. Let's see where NRG holds. I prefer them to hold a little bit closer, just like we saw Envy do to Second Generation, because you are going to be able to come back. But if you lose too quickly, you give the attacking team a little bit too much ult charge. So you got to even it up. You got to get at least 1 or 2 picks. So by the time you come back, you have something to work with.
Exactly. Kirby probably not going to stick with the Widowmaker, although that hero would certainly work with these open sight lines. NRG actually just going to be, you know, giving some respectful eyesight, some respectful distance to XL2 Academy. Not too close, not too far. The Goldilocks of holding points.
I remember when you played Orisa here every single time on the defense. You just put your shield down on the high ground, and shot a couple times, and then just moved to courtyard.
Exactly. And you knew your Hanzo and Widow were not using your shield. So.
Yeah, exactly. So XL2 Academy now going to be trying to use the payload to their advantage as that moves and provides them some cover, but NRG Esports not going to be taken down by a move that simple, especially here in Contenders. But they're going to go ahead and see that space. Let's see where they're going to engage once again.
Yeah, Yaki, very, very high energy. This is scary stuff for NRG to be staring down, but it will take him a little while to get there. Smex now can't get demeched too early on because, again, NRG losing a member here at this point in Courtyard will favor XL2, almost like a point A pick on Volskaya.
Yep, and just so everyone at home understands, like, if XL2 do win this fight, they most likely will have to win another one before capping the point, because that's just how these right angles of Rialto works. It takes so long for the payloads to actually turn, but now that they've actually given that space, NRG Esports are going to go ahead. This is a legitimate strategy to put all their marbles on this defense on point A. Akawa taken very, very low. The Transcendence was absolutely necessary to keep him alive, but Kevster is going to use his without the trans coming from XL2 Academy. No kills coming from NRG Esports. A wasted opportunity indeed. Is Kirby going to get that double kill? And they were unable at any point to actually stay on this payload, and so now they're actually going to get a one-shot take on this first point.
Exactly. It's like out of the Revenant right here. Shatter doesn't work. It's okay. I don't need setup for my bomb. Kirby lobs an unassisted 2K into that back line, and Akawa had a massive advantage. He had Shatter before standalone was like 50% to his, so why not toss it out? I thought he might actually die before he was able to channel that ultimate, so kudos to the support players of XL2, who will now have that sound barrier and tons of boop opportunities on this bridge.
Earth Shatter doesn't really do anything, especially with the sound barrier to encounter it. Self-destruct now, evening things up. No Zenyatta means no Discord Orb for XL2 Academy, but they're gonna have to see the space and the Graviton Surge from Yaki. He knew that XL2 Academy didn't want to partake in any more of that fight, so he forced them to instead.
Exactly. A 2K grab on which you confirm both of those kills, absolutely worth it every day of the week. I love the way that XL2 is tempoing these fights right now. These are not, you know, the clean, okay, we'll grab first and then we'll bomb. It's scrappy guerrilla warfare to keep the advantage constantly in their court. And now NRG will have both of those defensive ultimates, but Kevster must land this grab.
And so XL2 Academy actually find themselves on the stairwell. Sound barriers there, but Smex is going to get that first kill, so 65 for NRG Esports. Is this the time where they finally get that defense going? This is exactly where XL2 did it against them, so we're kind of just seeing deja vu at this point. point, but the roles are a little reversed as NRG are going to force XL2 Academy back to spawn. How long, though, is the question. 3 minutes and 20 seconds separate XL2 and the playoffs.
This is about how much time NRG had on their attacking phase, so XL2 will know, you know, kind of the way that they defended against this and hopefully not be able to fall prey to those same kinds of traps. NRG just holding on to the high ground for now. Byram has the trance at the ready. Yaki just 10% away from forcing him to use it.
And so everyone's going to be going ahead and fighting on this high ground. NRG needs a little bit of space, but everyone has to funnel through that choke, and it's up to XL2 Academy on how they actually want to do it. We're actually seeing why it's so hard here on Rialto B to get anything going. If you're the attacking team around these stairs, D-Mech is going to definitely ring true to that statement, as NRG Esports also only using a rally during that fight. So XL2, 2 minutes and 29 seconds left.
Yep, they continue to pull ultimates out from NRG, but okay, a cheeky parting kill from Jer. It was the eagle eyes of Byram we saw from his point of view, spotting out Kirby on the low ground. Kirby gets demeched almost immediately, so that was the signal to XL2. We're not going to win this fight. Everybody just back off with the quickness. Now coming into it, both teams, even in terms of ultimates,
and so they're going to meet each other on the stairwell again. The boot isn't going to knock a ton of XL2 Academy onto the ground. The Graviton Surges are out, so are the self-destructs. No kills coming from XL2s. Now NRG Esports are going to get some the old-fashioned way after the ultimates. You don't need a self-destruct for kills sometimes. You've got Mirror Kepster doing it for you. And so NRG Esports taking that time away from XL2 right now. However, the ultimates have evened up. Unfortunately for Yaki and Kirby, they're pretty far behind on theirs.
Exactly. XL2 Academy tried to make an opening right there with NRG. Weren't able to find that same bomb combo success. And Akawa, again, just trying to make the best of a losing hand. Shatters in response to Kepster's grab. Also catches nothing. So XL2 Academy throwing 3 good ults into the dumpster.
Kepster rocking some good energy, could actually be a little bit higher once the ally barrier does go onto the Reinhardt. It will be at around 100. You get 40 per shield, by the way. NRG Esports does have an Earth Shatter. XL2 Academy have support ultimates. So let's really see the power of the support ultimate here. And it's hard to do when you're on the ground, but at least Jared was able to get to that sound barrier. XL2 Academy so far away from everything else. Yaki and Kirby need to do some damage in order to give them a chance on this next fight, because there's only going to be one more. NRG Esports setting themselves up to dash XL2 Academy's playoff hopes today, forcing them to wait till next week. Let's see.
So unlucky. Jer sound barriers to save the stunned Haku, and then Haku trances. But we MVP, man, right there. Walls. No line of sight onto those Reinhardts, and NRG find themselves with a pretty easy defense, and now XL2 have their backs against the wall. Shatter, or rather Grav, is close. Rally also there. Haku swapping onto the Ana to try and better enable the tanks.
Do not get this wrong. If XL2 get this fight, they are at a distinct disadvantage. They should not. NRG are in a much better position to take them down. That's why you're seeing them be a little bit more patient. The Earth Shatter was forced by stand 1. Only Kirby onto the ground. Graviton Surge, big combo needs to be enormous for him, and it is not. XL2 actually going to lose a member during it. NRG Esports falling victim to a good biotic grenade, but Smek's going to get that self-destruct kill. It's a 5v4 now. XL2 still fighting for their lives. They don't want to wait until next week if they're actually going to even it up. NRG Esports losing a second member. Where will the hero be? Who will it be from either of these teams? Is it going to be Akawa on that Reinhardt, or is it going to be Kepster on that Zarya, getting that kill onto Speedily, who is unable to use that rally? But XL2 Academy are coming up on some more ultimates. HamTornado, Jared going to be using that sound barrier. I don't think it really mattered much in that situation, as XL2 Academy now are going to be depending on this grab to do anything. But Poots has the sound barrier. The biotic grenade coming from Byram going to keep everyone pretty healthy. This is a long fight that shouldn't be this long. XL2 Academy have given themselves a chance here, but Kepster slowly but surely taking it away with 2 kills, 1 onto Jer and Akawa. Stand 1 getting low, but while XL2 Academy made that fight so interesting, starting off with a huge ultimate disadvantage, they kept it going even after fighting casualties. That's some grit that I like to see. Good at stuff, but NRG do take this overall 2-1.
Congratulations, NRG, just sticking with the plan. XL2, again, trying to get creative towards the very last seconds of that fight, but it wasn't quite enough. Oh man, I just like
that. Was a fun last fight.
That was a
yeah,
very
that was
good last fight. I mean, it was so close. You have Haku throwing the nano onto the Zarya. It's like, please get grabbed. Yeah. Please just get grabbed, right? And just trying to enable again, what was a pretty disadvantageous fight. They had no right to win it. They kept it interesting, but I just love the image of Kevster as the Zarya just standing there on the high ground, not even moving, just right. Yeah, don't cross the beams. But yeah, in the end, NRG were able to take those advantages, those ultimates, and win out the fight. I mean, we've seen teams drop the ball before with every advantage in the book. So NRG played a pretty good game today.
Props to them also defending a ton of time on that second point as they they gave up point A really, really quickly, but they didn't give up point B at all, stopping them in their tracks. XL2, now next week, it's going to be a play-in game between second generation and XL2. The winner makes playoffs. The loser goes to relegation. And let's go ahead and keep Phase 2 into this, because if they win today, then they're totally in it as well, depending on how next week goes. So next week has a ton of things at the ready, but we still have the rest of today. ZP and Avast will be with you in about 6 minutes with the rest of the games for today.